Hello and welcome to the YOUmedia Podcast. I am your host, Montgomery. I am the young adults librarian here for South Dade. So for today's topic and kind of a new setup here, we're actually doing this on video. We're going to be talking about what happened on Saturday Night Live, in which Kanye West had a moment, and we'll talk about that. But before we get started, let me go to my camera right and introduce.
Hi guys, it's Lowell here. How you doing?
And then over to my camera left, we have.
Sup, y'all? It's your boy Xavier.
There you go. So if you did not see but heard, we're going to play a video clip of what Kanye West said on Saturday Night Live.
Try love, try love, try love. You see, they laughing at me. You heard them, they scream at me. They bully me. They bullied me backstage. They said, don't go out there with that hat on. They bullied me backstage. They bullied me. And then they say I'm in a sunken place. You want to see the sunken place? Okay, I'm going to listen to y'all now. Or I'm going to put my Superman cape on. Because this means you can't tell me what to do. Follow your heart and stop following your mind. That's how we're controlled. That's how we're programmed. If you want the world to move forward, try love. Thank y'all for giving me this platform. I know some of y'all don't agree, but y'all be going at that man neck a lot, and I don't think it's actually that helpful. I think the universe has balance. 90% of news are liberal. 90% of TV, LA, New York, writers, rappers, musicians. So it's easy to make it seem like it's so one-sided. And I felt kind of free. I thought this country said I could be me. I love me too. And I love y'all too, so bring the band back. Bring the band back. If you felt that and you understand that, bring your motherfucking hands up. I feel kind of free. And this is what the real thing is. You know the free, but you let me be back. That was weird. That was so weird. I see in your face. Not me.
All right, so basically he went on a rant that was not aired, hence why you saw this being recorded off of television. So this is not the first time that Kanye West has gone off on a tangent. What were your thoughts, Lowell?
I think the whole like Kanye rant thing is kind of played out. You know, once you, because before it's more like a thing like, oh my gosh, like he's just speaking like his mind, and I think that's crazy to some people because we used to like live in a time like especially like 2008, like around that time we lived in a time where people weren't really voicing their opinions, but now we're in a time where we have social media, we have Twitter, Instagram, you know, all this stuff where people are more vocal about their views. It doesn't catch people off guard just for the fact like, oh, he's ranting, but it does catch people off guard because you're saying things that it's like doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like, why would you say this as a person? And it's also different for Kanye because Kanye used to be like a man of the people. So for him to go and, you know, wear the MAGA hat on SNL to go ahead and support Trump is kind of weird because it's like you're kind of going against everything that, you know, you've kind of been for the last couple decades or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, I don't. He weirds me out.
Okay. Xavier, what are your thoughts?
Well, I agree with Lowell about 2008 not talking that much or speaking out, but I want to know where he get his source from. Where is he getting all this information from?
Well, I think the problem lies is that this is not an isolated case.
Mm-hmm.
If we go back to was it 2005?
Mm-hmm.
There was a Hurricane Katrina relief effort
Mm-hmm.
in which then George Bush was being president,
Mm-hmm.
and he was on the air with Mike Myers, and he criticized George Bush about him not caring for black people.
Mm-hmm.
George Bush doesn't care for black people.
So, and that kind of brought things to light because Katrina was a major tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
So, my concern is like, that's good. Sometimes you have to call it out at a certain point.
Yeah.
But why didn't he say that about what happened to Puerto Rico and calling Trump out? Because, as you know, the death toll increased much higher after the fact, thinking that he did a great job, which in fact he doesn't. So I think there's a time and place.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday Night Live is not, I guess, not the first time controversy has ever happened. Sinead O'Connor, at one point, teared up a picture of the Pope, and people freaked out, and that went off live. Whereas here, he just kind of went off on a tangent, the very last song, and it's like he kind of shared his flow of consciousness, so to speak. Should have been at that point, or he should have just done it on Twitter.
Well, yeah. I'm not gonna say that I would wish that Kanye would. Actually, yeah, I wish Kanye would just be less vocal, in a sense, because it's like the whole thing is he's doing it for the sense of he wants to allow people or artists or creatives to allow themselves to be more open and vocal, but if you're gonna do something, like, do it with a purpose. Don't sit there and put like negative energy out. You know, you're supporting a person who has a track record of not being a really good person. So like, just to go ahead and put your stamp on that and just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just, you know, support this guy. It's bad, you know, and it's just like like you said, like time and place. You know what I mean? Now, like, he could have went on Twitter. I don't think it would have made the same impact if he would have said those things on Twitter. And that's the thing that about Kanye, like, he just likes to say things because he's like that kid, right, in your school who just does things just to get the teacher mad. You know what I mean? Like he just does things just because he wants to see the teacher flip his lid. And that's that's what Kanye lives for. He lives for the controversy. Kanye is a controversial artist, you know, a controversial person. You know what I mean? He doesn't care that, oh, people are raging about this, so that's why he does things at the wrong time. And I think that's like the weird thing. It's like, all right, we say time and place, but like he understands, like, yo, I'm gonna do it at the wrong time in the wrong place, so then more people are gonna look at this and gonna bring more attention to me.
Right.
So yeah, Kanye's weird.
Okay. Xavier, what are your thoughts about, or there moments that you've witnessed that you thought maybe this is a little too wrong?
Well, I had a few of those moments.
Such as?
Some of them being in middle school. I remember this one kid in middle school. He lived. He would practically not stop until he gets the teacher mad and tells him to go outside.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I don't know why he did that. He probably didn't want to do the work or just get out of class, or he wanted to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I talked to him, like, why you come to school if you just do this? And he's like, I don't know. It's a habit. Like, I don't like that teacher. Like, I just don't like that teacher. I'm like, why not change classes? After that, he changed classes, and the teacher gave us a day off for that.
Yeah. But what have you seen about Kanye West?
Oh.
Anything that stands out that's something similar to what you're referring to?
Mm-hmm.
Well, not similar, but if I remember one thing Kanye did when his friend Beyonce didn't get a reward, and he just flipped off. He went on stage and said, "Oh, this and that." He was basically trying to defend his friend on why he
the Taylor
why
Swift.
she should.
Swift incident.
Yeah.
That was 2009.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But other than interrupting the victor on who won, he didn't messed up the whole award. But yeah,
Right.
he's no stranger to controversy.
But do you find his music entertaining enough that you can like, that's Kanye or that's Ye, to be like, no, I'm fine with him? Do you appreciate him as an artist?
Yes and no, because I'm not saying I don't listen to him, but I'm not saying I like him, but I'll listen to him from time to time. I respect him as an artist, but all this rants and arguments and all that, like just pipe it down a little bit. Play a few songs, like just calm down. That's all.
What about you, Lowell,
If I like Kanye enough
as an artist?
As an artist,
the way I feel about Kanye, because there is this whole thing of, how do we separate an artist, like a person as an artist and the person that they truly are.
Right.
You know what I mean? Do I like Kanye's old songs? Do I like what Kanye has done for the world of hip hop and for the world of fashion? Yeah, I do appreciate all that stuff, but he's a 40-year-old man. I'm going to hold him accountable for the stuff that comes out of his mouth, because you are 40 years old. You know pretty well what you are saying and what you are getting into. So that changes the way that I look at his music. Out of all the albums that he has produced this year, I think I've only listened to one. And it's like, I'm not gonna support you because I'm not gonna support you just because yeah, I've always messed with you as an artist. You're cool. No, that's there has to be sense within his own mind that yo, I'm saying something wrong, but there's not. He's acting like a child. This is completely childish. And I'm a person who, I've liked artists who've had controversy. One of the most recent artists was XXX Tentacion before he passed away in June, July. You know what I mean? But that's why I look into these things, and it's just okay, are you right within this area? And I researched him. I was like, okay, so this controversy about you, this is the problem that's going on. All right, so I know that in this situation that you're not wrong. In this situation with Kanye, you're completely wrong. It's not just for the fact that he's supporting Trump. It's the fact that you're such a high figure within the hip hop communities, and you're, as a African American male, how can you support this when so many kids look up to you? So then that's kind of you're being you're a tainted hero at this point. You were people's light. You know what I mean? As a kid, everyone's like, oh, I want to be like Kanye. You're doing this now. You're kind of messing up, bro.
Right. And to bring that point, because he did say he wanted to abolish the 13th Amendment, which is having to deal with slavery. And that in itself, when you put it in context of what he thinks about slavery, is that it's been 400 years. Why are we still talking about slavery? And I understand his point, but the way he's talking about abolishing the 13th Amendment doesn't make sense, because, like you said, if he has followers, they're going to kind of jump on that same bandwagon, and it's yeah, let's go ahead and abolish it, but not even realizing there's a reason why it's there in the first place. So my question to you then, is that something that you should even pay attention to?
yes, if you really care, which you should. Abolishing the 13th Amendment, who would do that? Who can do that?
The people. No, that's if the people said, hey, yeah, we don't want this anymore, they can, because I don't know what amendment was it that alcohol was illegal, and they're just oh, nah, never mind.
The prohibition.
Yeah.
Same thing could be said about Roe versus Wade, in which people want to overturn that, and that's been over 40 years. So, what's to say that you cannot overturn or change things?
It's a bad thing. It's a all right. So here's always my thought on the whole Kanye thing. The 400 years of slavery that long ago. My guy, Yes, it was 400 years ago. I do understand that. Civil rights movement. When did the civil rights movement like end? Like,
Somewhere in the 1990s or
no, it wasn't
2000s.
1990s. Oh gosh, I hope the civil rights movement ended in the 1990s. That would be scary. But like, civil rights movement happened not too long ago. Like Kanye, like your grandmother was probably like going through some of that stuff. Your mom probably had to deal with some of that stuff. You know what I mean? Racism still exists. That's why we're talking about these problems, because it's not like, oh, like just forget about it. Like, how do you expect me to forget about something that's still going on? Racism is still going on. It's not something that just like went away and then it's like, oh, well, why are we still talking about it? Because it's still happening. You know what I mean? Young black men are still dying on the streets. You know, some people are still being just like discriminated against. You know what I mean? People, and that's something that Trump brought out. You know what I mean? Look at how many people wear the MAGA hat and tell me that those people are, you know, they're standing for equality. Just really think about that.
Hold on. There's a movie coming out called The Hate You Give about a young girl going to a school. Not sure if it's full of white people or not, but after school, she has a friend, a boy, black dude, mad cool. They driving one night, got pulled over by the cops. Black dude, like the girl was telling him, don't do anything, just stay still, stay still. Black dude smiled at her, grabbed the brush, came out. All of a sudden, you hear a pop, pop, pop. He got shot. He died.
Well, I hope he.
Oh, spoilers.
I was thinking that he got shot because ba ba ba.
Yeah.
There wasn't that many shots in the trailer.
No.
So this might be the director's cut.
Yeah. But basically, I'm thinking the whole movie is about a girl speaking up for her friend who might have gotten shot by a white police. So it might have something to do with the killing and all this with the cops killing young black men
Spoiler alert.
for nothing.
It does. It 100% does. But yeah, I think like for Kanye to just go like, you know what I mean? Like he's even stated himself he doesn't know anything about Trump's policies. Wow. That means you're just blindly like following like just somebody that, you know, is just bad. He's just like, oh yeah, I don't know what any of his policies are about, but I'll probably take a look into them. No, you won't, Kanye.
But he did say in the video on SNL, he said, follow your heart and not your head, which means you're going to give up logic, and just because it sounds good, you're going to go follow that?
Kanye, if my heart told me jump off a bridge, my head's gonna like, nah, bro, don't do that.
That's like saying, would you rather go for true love or common sense? That's like saying, would you go for...
Does true love have food?
Exactly. That's like saying, would you go for a smart girl who's rich or a poor girl who is so fine and your heart is with the
This
poor
is
girl.
not the right message.
I think we're getting off the topic with that.
But what I'm saying is, Kanye wants to follow his heart with what Trump is saying, but his mind is not listening to what Trump is actually saying. Like, if Trump is saying, oh, let's build a bridge so we can keep all black people out, and Kanye's like,
I don't think that's what bridges. Continue. That's not how bridges work. It's a wall, my guy.
a wall, my bad. A wall. And Kanye not using his head, no common sense, following his heart, because he wants to, says, oh yeah, I agree with Trump for that. And rants about it. That's what I mean. Not the whole bridge thing.
It's a bridge.
So we do know that he did have medical issues, and he was hospitalized for a while. And he did have a mental breakdown, but he called it a breakthrough. Would you consider that to be something that is valid? That, yes, everything that he went through, he struggled with, and now he seems to be in a better place. Is he in a better place since that incident?
Maybe.
What rehab facility did he go to? Because I think Kanye has mental issues. Yeah. Do I think his mental issues validates the way that he's speaking. No, I mean like, cause then that goes into a whole another topic of like like the stigmas that come along with like mental issues. Cause there are a lot of people who have mental issues and they're not doing what Kanye's doing. I think that's like the problem. Like he's trying to use like his whole mental issues is to try to validate. It's like, oh yeah, Trump. I can say this because I had mental issues and a breakthrough and yeah. I'm like, bro, no, that's not how that works. You know what I mean? Like you can't like just draw the connection. There's no correlation, Kanye, between like you having your mental issues and then being like, oh yeah, let's go ahead and say all this wild stuff. I don't like I said, he's weird, and I'm gonna keep on saying this because for the simple fact that you guys gotta understand, Kanye is Kanye, right? Like Kanye has been known for just being him, and I think the problem is Kanye is just so much in his own head that he hasn't like just been around like like within the projects or like the streets to just know like what's going on. You know what I mean? He's just so much like up here that it's just him, validating every wrong thought that's going on, and then he goes ahead and he says it, and then when everybody just criticizes him and tells him no, that is a wrong way of thinking, Kanye's just like, no, I'm wrong, I'm right, no, I'm right, because I told myself that I'm right in my head, and that's 100% okay. So like that's how Kanye is. That's how Kanye has always been. That's not right at all for Kanye to be like that, but that's just how he is. He's just always been within his own head and not like he doesn't sympathize with what everybody else is feeling around him.
Okay, so we're getting close to the end, but I want to pose this question to both of you.
Mm-hmm.
If an artist that you follow, that you respect, acted the way that Kanye does, would you find fault with that?
Would I find fault with the way that
They're acting the exact same way that Kanye does, the exact same outbursts,
So
but
if they
choose-
just argue so much to the point where it's not even funny, and you have to do something about it, maybe.
but who is that artist?
I have at least two artists. Eminem.
throw it away. Okay, next.
Eminem or Kendrick Lamar. One of the two.
Honestly, because if Kendrick Lamar or Jake, like, because for me it's Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole. If those two artists were to come out and be like, oh yeah, we support Trump, I'm done. Because I find it that like so many fans of these people and so many fans of Kanye, they're exactly that. They're fans, and they no longer see themselves as like humans or whatever. Like for them to be
See 'em
actually
as gods.
like control their own thoughts, and they just follow whatever the guy in front of them is saying. For me, I know who I am. I know my morals and my thoughts and everything that I do believe in. So even if my favorite artist said, "Oh yeah, I support," what's a wild topic? I support bombing of like Syria. I'm just like, my God, no, that's wrong. And I know myself enough to say, yo, I know what's wrong. I'm not gonna follow behind somebody who follows something bad.
Wait, this is a perfect example
I hope it's a
of
perfect
following
example.
your heart.
Stop.
and not your head.
No, we're not quoting Kanye. Stop.
No, that is the perfect example. Like, you're a fan.
No, it's following my mind because I know logic enough. No pun intended. Shout out to logic. I know like I have enough common sense to say, hey, I'm not gonna follow this dude who's not thinking correctly. You know what I mean? It's
That's called common sense.
yeah.
That's called using your brain,
Yeah.
not following your heart.
Unless you're the Tin Man, you don't have a heart. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So on that note, it's going to be the end of our podcast. So thank you very much for listening to us. So please let us know in your comments below what your thoughts are about the Kanye experience. So thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you soon.